Hey World Changers, it is day 68 of the 100 Days of Self-Discovery Challenge. I hope you're really embracing this challenge now because we're, 2/3 in. We've only got a month left, well, just over a month of this challenge to do. So you should be really getting to understand yourself a bit better now. You'll be seeing some patterns coming up now, which is great. It's annoying because you're like, oh, there's that again. That's that same pattern. However, when we have awareness about what's holding us back, what our limiting beliefs are, what the patterns are that are preventing us from moving forward or creating the goals and achieving the goals that we want to do, that's when we can start to work on them. So if you are noticing these things, don't get frustrated with yourself. Reward yourself, celebrate yourself because you've discovered this, you've gone to work on yourself and you're discovering what it is that's been blocking you all these years. So this is to be celebrated because once you know this, once you have the self-awareness, that's when you can take action. And taking action is the absolute key. It's all very well doing the self-discovery challenge, but if you do not put some application into it and start moving forward, nothing will change. In fact, it'll probably get worse because you'll be aware of the patterns that you're repeating. You'll get even more frustrated and annoyed at yourself because you're just doing the same thing expecting to get different results, and you know that you're not going to get different results because it's a tried and tested method that you've been doing all of your life. So today's question, very short, snappy, simple question, but I do like it, but it really does get you kind of thinking, because the question is simply, do you enjoy life? Now, when I've asked people this in the past, you get a number of responses. People kind of automatically want to say yes, but then you can kind of see their cogs turning in their head and they're kind of going, well, that's good, but I don't really like that bit of my life, and yeah, that's pretty crappy right now, and this isn't great, and I'd like to improve that. I mean, that's all right. And you kind of see them kind of going, okay, and it's suddenly, how much do I actually enjoy my life? Because sometimes, we all go through challenging times, and sometimes it can feel like a real struggle, a real uphill battle, and just all the fun and joy has just been sapped out of life because we're stressed, we're anxious, we're dealing with bereavement, grief, depression, all kinds of issues. Sleep deprivation, God, that's an almighty one that I think most of the country can be experiencing at one point in their life. So these all have an impact. The other responses that I get is that, somebody will say, well, they'll just be absolutely clear. They're like, no, I don't enjoy my life. And, that's why they want to make differences. They want to make change. And that's a fundamental thing. I've spoke about this before, about pain being a powerful motivator. I mean, if you're in a place where you're just not enjoying life, it's very uncomfortable, it's very painful, it's not pleasant, and it can feel really challenging to think, how on earth do I turn this around? Because it can feel like you're turning the Titanic. However, it is baby steps. It's thinking about the small steps that you can do. So if you are in that place, absolutely get support. Get a life coach. I mean, I am a massive advocate of life coaching. I've had a life coach for 11 years. He's mentored me through the most challenging times of my life and the most celebratory times of my life, because I don't think you just need a life coach for the bad times. It's just when you're going through change or trying to change, it's having that support and that rock solid guidance that can help you through these transitioning times, because change is challenging. It's not easy. If it was easy, we'd all just do it, and I wouldn't need to do this job for a living, and we'd all just be sailing through life happy. So yeah, and another response that I get is a lot, especially the people I'm surrounded by now, that I get, yeah, I absolutely love my life. And those people that are saying that, they've got one consistent thing in common, and that's they all have a personal development practice. They've gone to work on themselves, they've identified the areas that they want to work on. You know, they've started making progress. They might not be exactly where they are, but they're excited about life. They're excited about where they're going and what they're creating. So, you know, and like I said, change is challenging and they can have highs and lows, but on the kind of level, there is a sense of kind of contentment and enjoyment about life because you know that you won't always be here and you're moving forwards. It's the moving forwards. It's when we're stagnant that really causes us pain, when we feel stuck. That's what gives us the most unease. And I think it comes down to how uncomfortable that unease is that motivates you to go through the transition of change. Because, you know, when change is painful, you know, you can go back to that, but it's like, how painful, what pain threshold do you want to work with? You know, do you want to stay where you are, where it's comfortable, or do you want to work with the pain of uncertainty and managing that? Because that's all it is. It's just fear. You don't know what the future holds. You're stepping out of your comfort zone, trying these new things, and you don't know where it's going to lead. It might work, it might fail, it might not, but, you know, and that's what hijacks us and prevents us kind of moving forward, and that's why sometimes we retreat. So, some sub-questions to help you with your review when you're thinking about, do you enjoy your life? Think about the elements that you do enjoy, really break it down and, you know, think about why they bring you joy. What is the core elements of those things that are making you happy? You know, think about how you could experience more joy in your life. You know, think about the areas that are not as joyous and, you know, how could they be improved or enhanced, and think about what spoils your joy and think about how much time you spend on that. A simple thing for me was being around sort of bitching. You know, being in an environment where people were moaning, and, you know, you get it in workplaces all the time. You know, there's always spells where everything's great and it's fun and it's a great place to work. And then, you know, often with change and cutbacks and resources cutbacks, that can breed fears and insecurity, and lots of people start really being kind of bitchy because they're freaking out. And that's a really uncomfortable thing. I never liked that. I also didn't like it when I was that person, because I've totally been that person. I've been a total moan fest, and I've caught myself, and I was like, oh, I just do not like, this spoils my joy. This does not make me feel great. So be aware of your own actions, because if somebody's moaning to you, it's possibly because you're like a sponge for it and you enjoy it and you totally take it on and you moan back and all the rest of it, and you not manifest it, magnify it. So think about that. Be aware of your own actions. Think about who is spoiling your joy, what is spoiling your joy, and think about, are you creating the spoils? And if something is spoiling your joy, what can you do to protect yourself from that? You know, how can you take yourself away from that environment that's spoiling you, those people, whatever it is? What are the changes that you can make? So make a list of all the things that bring you joy, and think about how we've done this before, you should already actually have this list, and just again reinforce how much time you are spending on those activities that bring you joy. And, you know, if you're not living life with joy, absolutely get some support. You know, find a way. What is the one thing that you could do today that would bring you some joy into your day today? Even if you just start there, that's a great start. So that's today's check-in, today's question. I look forward to your review. Post your comments as normal in the comments below. You can do a video like this, or you can join our Change Your World personal development group, which is completely free to join. And if you are not feeling full of the joys of life, we have our Change Your World conference on the 6th of April. It's here in Inverness in the Highlands. People are coming from all over to attend, so don't be put off because you just think, oh, it's in Scotland. But, you know, it's going to be at the start of the Easter holidays, so a perfect excuse to come and visit Scotland, because the Highlands in Inverness is the most beautiful place to live, and this is why I enjoy my life, because I just live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. So spread the word, let people know that you're doing the self-discovery challenge, tag people in, encourage other people to start their own personal development practice so that they too can start changing their world and start enjoying their life as well. So love to you all, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.